Something real that you thought was impossible. At first I thought mom was finally moving forward after dad died, but something in the way she got up to jog every morning at 6 felt so wrong. Even when dad was around, mom hated jogging as much as she hated mornings. She used to joke that anything before 9 was criminal, and now she had 3 alarms starting at 5:30. Even in thunderstorms, I'd hear her leave at exactly 6, and each time she'd come back looking haunted instead of healthy. We also used to make brunch together after dad died, our way of starting each day without falling apart. But when the jogging started, she stopped brunching. She even ran the morning of dad's death anniversary. She had left me standing in the kitchen holding the flowers we were supposed to take to his grave together, while she laced up her shoes like it was any other day. Even when I casually asked about her jogs, she'd just act offensive, saying it was none of my business how she spent her time. Things were weird out of nowhere. So I followed her once and saw her sitting on a bench near dad's old office building, just sitting still and staring out into the open for minutes before getting up to jog back the same way. Then, during a really bad storm, a power outage reset all her alarms. So when I woke up at 6:47, I saw her sobbing on the kitchen floor in her pajamas, clumsily placing on her shoes. "I missed it," she mumbled over and over before running outside, still in her pajamas. When she came back hours later, she wouldn't look at me. She just locked herself in her room with dad's photos. At this point, I had to know what was happening. I placed a small tracking device in her shoe. For 3 weeks straight, she went on the same exact route, always stopping at that same bench for exactly 4 minutes. I decided to head over to the bench and examine it more closely in the afternoon, but found nothing. There was nothing special about it, nothing special about the area, just nothing but a bench. But somehow because of it, I felt like I was losing my mom, different from the way we had lost my dad. So I followed her again. This time, I stayed hidden and watched. She reached under the bench and pulled out an envelope. Her whole body started shaking as she read whatever was inside. She took photos with her phone, then put the envelope back and left a different one. Before walking away, she kissed her wedding ring and whispered something I couldn't hear. The way she moved, careful and paranoid, checking over her shoulder constantly. It was like watching someone in a spy movie. My mom, who couldn't even lie about eating the last cookie, was suddenly living some secret life. At some point, I couldn't take it anymore. I stopped her from going on a jog, and she completely panicked, almost ripping my shirt trying to push me to the side. "Please, you don't understand. I have to go now." I stood there, refusing to budge. "Mom, tell me what's under the bench." She glanced at the clock and broke down after missing her usual jogging time. She walked into the kitchen looking completely defeated and pulled out a stack of letters. I opened it up, my heart squeezed painfully. In Dad's handwriting, the first letter read, "I'm alive, can't explain, trust no one, same place, same time." My hands shook as I opened the next letter, which mentioned things only Dad would know. My first baseball game where I struck out 4 times. The song Mom hummed when she was nervous. The other letters did the same. But things were also off. Dates were wrong, even nicknames. Dad had always called me Sport, not Buddy. Some of the letters had actual photos of him holding recent newspapers, looking thin and terrified. And looking at everything, I had no idea what to even think or where to even begin. "I know it might be fake," she whispered, her voice increasingly becoming frantic. "But what if it's not? What if he's waiting for me to find him somehow?" She explained how she'd leave money in exchange for the proof he's safe, but nothing was ever certain. But the part that really hurt me the most was the letter asking Mom to protect me and not to tell me anything. I wanted to scream that Dad was dead, that we'd buried him, that someone was torturing her, but looking at her desperate hope, I couldn't. A part of me made me want to believe in all of this too, that maybe he really had miraculously survived. I mean, even back then there were things that made me feel uneasy. No body at the site of the wreckage, and now this. I started jogging with Mom after that, each letter shackling us to the bench.